Welcome to the Toy Rewind Podcast with your hosts, the Brothers Newland. Now, let's talk toys.
Hello, I'm Michael.
I'm John.
And I'm Andrew. And you're listening, obviously, to the Toy Rewind podcast. And this week, we have a very obscure toy line that we're going to be talking about. It's kind of a small line. Doesn't have a lot of information, but we're going to get over that. We're talking about Bugmen of Insecta. Okay, so first off, Michael, John, did y'all ever look at the name of this toy line and think it said Insectia?
Yeah, but it's not. It's Insecta.
Right. So, okay, I just want to make sure
I said Insecta, yeah.
Just a second. I just want to make sure I wasn't the one that looked at that multiple times, thought it said Insectia, and then finally this week I was like, oh no, that just says Insecta. So, all right, we're going to talk about that. We're going to go through that in a few minutes, but before we do that, John, give us a rundown of our social medias.
All right, check out our website, toyrewindpodcast.com. We're on Instagram and Twitter at toyrewindpod. You can up and join in the conversations there. We do our toy box showcases to Facebook and Twitch as well. Twitch.tv/toyrewindpod. We do have a YouTube channel. You can search us on there. podcastbingo.com/toy rewind for some podcast bingo as you're listening to us. And then, of course, you can email us at toyrewindpodcast@gmail.com.
All right, there you go. Check us out. Be sure you follow us. Also, while you're over on YouTube, remember you can watch what we're doing because we're all right waving at you. Everybody wave. Okay, nobody wave. So yeah, you can watch us on YouTube. You watch the not live, but the delayed broadcast. I guess that's what you would say. So yeah, check that out. Follow us over on Twitch. We have some ideas, some things we're going to be doing this year. So make sure you follow us, get with us. That way you're not left in the dark when we start to do new things. All right. Fun for all question. This week we have two fun for all questions. The first one, I got to say, I thought of both of these earlier this week as I was just kind of watching movies, and I started a rewatch this week of a certain trilogy, and then I was like, oh, this is what we need to talk about. So, but then the other one popped in my head, and then as I was listening to the Dorksmen this afternoon, they talked about this past week with Prague. So I didn't steal this from them. But
I thought you did because I listened to it earlier in the week and you told me today what it was.
So I was thinking about it, and then I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it anyways. Like, because I was like, well, we'll just scrap that one, but we're going to do it anyways. So first question is, what is your favorite movie trilogy? And the second question is, what are your favorite couple cult movie classics that you just like to watch that you can watch sometimes? So, all right, Mike, start with you, and let's go through the trilogies first. And then we'll come back to the cult classics. So,
I guess growing up, my favorite trilogy is the original Star Wars trilogy, but now it's more of a saga now since there's 9 movies instead of 3. But the original 3 was my favorite. But now that it is a saga, and when there's 9 of them, let's go with I guess Back to the Future trilogy is probably my favorite trilogy.
So I did hear they're doing a Back to the Future Part 4. And no, I'm just kidding.
It's not a Part 4.
Would that ruin your life, Michael?
That would, yes.
Ruin your life? Just leave it alone. Don't touch it.
It said concluded at the end of the third movie, so that was it.
I've seen a lot of movies that are concluded that they somehow come back and give us new ones. So Indiana Jones. But, it all happens. All right, John, what's your favorite trilogy?
So my favorite trilogy would actually be Indiana, but like you said, they've come back with others. But I'll throw Blade out there.
Blade's a good one. That's a pretty good one. It's been a while since I've seen the first one.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen all of them.
I don't know if I've ever seen the third one.
Trinity.
To be honestly, I've seen the first two. I know I think I've seen it, but I can't guarantee that I've seen it. So my favorite trilogy, and just one that I can watch at any point, any day, and catch it from anywhere, is the Christopher Nolan Batman trilogy, the Dark Knight trilogy. That is actually the one that I just started rewatching. I just finished watching Batman Begins yesterday, and then tomorrow I'll start back in on the Dark Knight. So run through those. Even though the Dark Knight Rises is not, it's got some flaws in it, I still like it. So it's part of my
it's
Batman
pretty
persona.
good trilogy. Yeah.
So it's my favorite Batman like movies. That I can watch multiples. I very much like Keaton as Batman, but when I want to watch multiple ones, I can only see Keaton as Batman twice, and then have to deal with other Val Kilmers and George Clooney's. That hey, I still like those movies. They're fun to watch because they're just as goofy as everything. So all right, so there's that. All right, now let's run through cult classics, and we did talk about this like before jumping on here, and so there's some different ones.
Split second.
Yeah, for a split second, not very long. But I've got a good list here of ones that I like. But we'll see. Michael, we'll start with you again.
Actually, the my favorite movie of all time is a cult classic, Goonies.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so
Yeah, it is.
The Goonies, Tron's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
National Lampoon's Vacation.
Vacation.
That one's a good one. The Godzilla movie from 2019 saw that on a list of them. I don't know.
Really? Already?
Much on there, but yeah.
enough.
I mean,
I don't know. I guess, but it was on the list, but that I was looking at. But I do like that movie. But
is that's the Godzilla Monsters?
King of the Monsters.
King of the Monsters. That's what it is.
King of the Monsters. Yeah,
okay.
That's the one. Yeah, had Ghidorah and King Ghidorah. And,
right.
All them in there.
That was actually pretty good. I watched it recently. A few months ago.
I like all those. I'm looking forward to seeing Kong versus Godzilla. I saw the preview of that, or just a little snippet of it the other day, and it looked.
I haven't watched it, but I have HBO Go or HBO Max, and I'm very excited that I'm going to get to watch that as quickly as I possibly can.
Yeah, that's going to be I think it's going to be a pretty good movie. But yeah, I'm a big Godzilla fan. I think I've said that before in another episode. But
yeah,
me and Rainey both like Godzilla, so that's going to be one looking forward to. Let's see, Tremors. I saw Tremors is another good one that.
How many of those? How many of those have you watched?
I know I've seen the original one. I've seen several times. The second one maybe once or twice.
But you
didn't. But I've never seen any of the others.
So.
Horror pictures or stuff.
Yeah, I thought you didn't watch horror movies. What's up with that?
It's not really a horror movie.
These are terrifying movies. They're terrifyingly bad. So, okay, I do have to say, I started watching them all, and I'm on 4. I've made it through 3, and I haven't picked back up to watch 4 because you've got the different names for all the creatures. And in the third one, they start to fly and they call them ass blasters. So I was like, yes, I have not been able to watch 4, but there's like 6 out now. The 6th one just came out in the last few years. So I need to get on it, finish watching that. So.
No, yeah, the first one really it is the one I've seen the most. Like I said, I think I've seen the second one once or twice, but
yeah.
But none of the other. I've never seen any of the others. So but I think Goonies, Vacation, Tron, Zoolander. Did I say Zoolander earlier?
Oh no, you didn't.
Yeah, Zoolander was a pretty funny one too.
Yeah. So. What do you have, John, on your list?
I've got The Crow.
Obviously.
Empire Records.
Dazed
and Confused.
Oh, great movies. Big Lebowski.
And then Rocky Horror Picture Show.
The Rocky Horror Picture Show. So I didn't write down Rocky Horror Picture Show because it's one of those to me that is, I mean, I love the show, or I love it, but everybody talks about it. The same with Big Lebowski. When you talk about cult classics, those two always come up.
Yeah, those are the two that seem to be the top of the list that everyone talks about. But,
so I didn't write those down as I was writing my list, but I do have Tron on here. Let's see, Princess Bride, The Blues Brothers, Monty Python and the Holy Grail, which is questionable if it's a cult classic. The Dorksmen were talking about that. Is it a classic in England? I don't know. It is here, so that's what we're going with. Office Space, which was filmed in Dallas, just right outside of the office that I used to work at in Las Colinas. They talk about Las Colinas in the movie, and it's funny. Clue, Labyrinth, Super Troopers. Not the second one. The first,
the first one's funny.
Second one was nuh-uh. Then I actually do kind of like Idiocracy. Sorry, Joey. It's a stupid movie, but for some reason I can watch it. American Psycho is probably really high on my list. It's a lot of fun. Clerks. This is Spinal Tap, and my all-time favorite is Donnie Darko. So I don't know if you guys have seen that one, but it's awesome.
No, I was thinking, we said that I talked to you guys about this a while ago. Major League is a really good. I love that movie, but I was looking through those lists of cult classics, and it wasn't on the list. So I guess it made too much money or something. But
that's the only thing I can think of, because you don't hear a lot of people that actually really love that movie.
A lot of I guess it's more geared towards baseball fans.
Yeah,
and if you get a group of baseball guys together, they'll quote that movie quite a bit.
Wild Thing. I mean.
Yeah, and then you got Wild Thing, which everybody knows. So I like that movie.
Lots of fun cult classic movies. Some of these, like we just watched Princess Bride not too long ago. I watched Clue not too long ago. Actually, I watched Monty Python not too long ago. All these, I guess, because COVID, I've watched more of these recently than I normally would have. Donnie Darko is one that's hard for me to go back and watch too often because I love the movie, but it's a little dark and it's a little twisted. So I got to be in the right headspace so that I don't, lose my mind. But it is totally worth a watch for me now. I need to watch that. And then Clerks, like I mentioned, that one. And then Clerks is not even my favorite View Askew movie. My favorite one of those is actually Mallrats, which I should have written down and I didn't write it down. So, all right. Well, there's those. If you want to hear more about cult classic movies, be sure to check out episode 79, episode 79 of the Dorksmen. There they talk to Prague from Secondary Heroes, and it's a great episode. More about that. So there we go. There we got that. All right, now it's time for our toy talk. Time to talk about this toy line and see. All right, I am currently. It says we're just about 13 minutes into the episode, and I think what?
Said it'll take another 10 with this one.
Oh, I was actually thinking, based off of the information that Michael has told us that he has on this, we may be done by 15 minutes. So there's not a lot here, but stay with us. This is a very interesting toy line. So stay with us. And Michael, what kind of history do you have?
All right. So the Bugmen of Insecta. It was a small line of toys from 1983 that was produced by Multi Toys Corporation. The line consisted of 6 different figures and 2 vehicles. So a little bit backstory of the Bugmen. It kind of goes like this, what they have on the back of the cards. Eons ago, when life began on Earth, many insects came to the surface, but more remained deep beneath the earth to build a world of their own, Insecta. The insect world, if I can say that right. It's the insect world. During the centuries that followed, there was 5 tribes emerged. The largest, which were the Spider-Men, was led by Web Spinner IV, who ruled Insecta until about 25 years ago, which was 1983, 25 years before 1983. When a revolt took place, the revolt was led by Elephas of the Stag Beetles, King Stinga, who was of the Killer Bees, Lord Grassa of the Grasshopper Men, and Carnivora of the Tiger Beetles. Insecta was then split into 5 separate nations. All these figures, that was just a little backstory they had of this. Since there wasn't a cartoon. There wasn't it wasn't anything else that went along with this. It was just 6 figures and 2 vehicles, and that was it. So that was a little backstory that they decided to throw on the back of it. So on the back of the card.
I have to say, so you said 25 years from 1983, which is, I did the math. It's 1958.
58.
So, mom and dad are alive, and these bugmen are going to come attack them. We didn't have to deal with it, but they're going to come up and attack them. So,
yeah,
very interesting on timelines there.
Yeah. So the figures, they were 4-inch tall figures, and each was packaged with a specific insect companion. I think there was like a fly. What else was there? There was
there was a fly, a spider,
and there was like a cockroach.
A cockroach, and then I think there was a grasshopper, wasn't there?
I don't remember seeing a grasshopper. Those are the 3 I saw. There was only 3 of them that I saw. So
yeah, it looks like a roach. The wolf, the spider.
Yeah, maybe it's just a spider.
And the fly, yeah. So each of them, they were all packaged with one of those insects.
They all had a weapon. Their
weapons, as well as King Stinga's wings, came in 3 different colors. So you can have, like King Stinga. He could have either red wings, green wings, or black wings. Mm-hmm. So, and they all have a spear, and they all had a gun with them too. So they had an insect with them, a spear, and a gun. And the spear and gun come in 3 different colors as well. So you can get any of those color variations with your in your package.
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
Before we talk about the cars or the vehicles, whatever they are, the most interesting thing about this is the packaging to me, the card, the artwork that's on it. It's just really awesome. I liked it. It's very
it looks like retro looking for back from the 80s. I mean, for being the 80s, it looked retro from then.
Yeah, it looked like 50s
from the 60s or 50s. Yeah,
50s scary movie-ish, like you know, like B movie, like graphic would be on the front of a B movie or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So dude in the back that's being attacked by the spider.
Yeah, and here, I saw somebody post. Somebody said something about maybe that's Vincent Price being attacked by the spider, and I was like, "Well, I don't think it looks like Vincent Price, but you know, it could be. I don't know. I don't know what Vincent Price looked like in 1958. Yeah. I could Google it, but I don't want to do that." All right, So that's the figures. Like these guys, 4 inches, and just solid colors, like not anything, just blacks, browns, reds, greens, yellows.
Yeah, I've got picture. I don't know if you can see the picture on there.
I'll add it in. That's a little small.
A little small. Ooh.
Let me see if I can bring this one up. So, done. If I can. So here's this one. Anybody that's watching this stream can see it. So these are all 6 of the figures. Very simple. Nothing crazy going on with these guys. You got some guys with 2 arms, some guy with 4, one guy with 6 plus 2 legs. I guess he's a spider.
Yeah. So I've got all their names here as well. So you got Carnivora. He was the king of the tiger beetles. You had King Stinga. He was the chief of the killer bees. Web Spinner the 4th, which was emperor of the Spider Nation. Elephas, which was the strongman of the stag beetles. Grassa, leader of the grasshopper men. And then there was Black Widow, which, there was 5 different groups. Well, Black Widow is not part of those groups, but it was queen of the most vicious spiders.
Oh,
so I don't know.
See, I missed that. Yeah. I missed that in the story because I was trying to figure out. I was like, there are 5. You've got all the leaders. But then I was like, why do you randomly? I just thought, I was like, well, maybe they just thought Black Widow would be cool. Where's the brown recluse? But that makes sense. She's kind of the queen of the most evil spiders or whatever.
Yeah.
So
I guess she might be like the bad guy of the group if they kind of went on through if they did the line a little longer or something. I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Definitely.
Hold on. On the back of the card, it says that Web Spinner the Force sent the Black Widow and her spider assassins. Let me go to the next one so I can. I'm trying to go. I've got a video that went through all this, and but it like on the story on the back, what you read a while ago was just part of it, but they go in a little bit more.
Okay.
But when Black Widow returned, the Spider Nation was ready for the final battle to rule Insectia. But there's also 2 misprints on the back cards that instead of Insectia at one time it says Insected. But that was kind of interesting to see as the guy was reading through it and showing it. It's got a little. It's like a little comic. Let me see if I can get a good picture of it. Without.
Yeah. So, I mean, these characters are very interesting. I like that they're different.
If you looking at them, and I saw a few other reviews on these online, and they all kind of look, and they're kind of correct on the review. It's more like a drugstore type, dollar store type figure.
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
not really, it's not like a mainstream like G.I. Joe or Masters of the Universe or something like that.
I did see there was a guy that I read. I don't remember what the site was, but he was talking about how they basically sat on the shelf for a lot of toy stores.
They were just cheap ones, and like this guy that I was listening to talking about them, his are still in the packages and stuff, and they're starting to discolor inside the package.
Oh wow!
Because of the material they're made out of.
Yeah,
and everything. But it's got this little comic on the back that kind of goes through it. But it's funny how it's got everybody like multiple times on there and stuff. So
yeah. Well, I mean, there would be multiple ones. There'd be a lot of spiders. They all look exactly the same and stand in the exact same pose when they're fighting. So, all right, let's talk about the vehicles, because the vehicles were there's an interesting fact about the vehicles that I thought was really, really kind of cool. So
yeah, you got the grass skull sled, which is green and yellow, and then you have the widow flyer, which is black and red. These are actually they're hard to find, and they were almost the fact about them is they were almost identical to the Dragon Riders of the Styx, Skull Sled and Demon Flyer.
Yep.
With the few modifications I was looking at, there's a few different changes to them, but not much. But they're almost exactly the same, just different colors.
Yeah, the biggest change was just the color. Past that,
and Dragon Riders of the Styx is another line that Multi Toys Corporation did as well.
That'll be next episode. No, I'm just kidding.
We'll put it on down the line because it's actually got more stuff to it than this one does. But
right. This is very small and it's very interesting. Now, I hope somebody in our audience, somebody who's listening, has some of these, because I've never seen them. I've never heard of them.
I'm not familiar with this one either. No, this was something new that I just saw the name and we threw it on the list, and then.
Well, I mean, I think we can get into some of the stuff now where you've seen them, but Twitch off of Toy Story, was it 3 or 4? They say that he's kind of modeled after Gracia or Grassa.
Oh, really?
So, but it's not confirmed.
I was just looking it up. I don't remember. Oh yeah, I mean, I can see that. Yeah, he definitely does. I mean, he's a much more detailed character, but figure. But I can see that.
It's a lot more detailed character than what Grassa was. But it was the fact that he was an insect.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, here we go. The two of them together. Michael's showing them, or John's showing
them.
So I was looking at eBay on these because I wanted to see some prices. These are actually have been selling anywhere from $45 to a set for almost $200.
Yeah,
and those are out of the packages.
I think I saw one of those went for $75 just for the single.
Yeah.
that one single figure.
So
They're all averaging right around $50 to $60.
like I said, that's
pretty
out of
good
it's out of the package.
But it's not packaged. I didn't see any of them packaged.
Yeah, I saw one that was packaged of an Insecta that went for 50.
Okay.
And that was it. That was the only one that I saw that was in a package.
I didn't see any vehicles on there at all. And like I said, there was like 10 to 15 of them on eBay, even on past, if you look at past closed down auctions and stuff like that. There's not but 10 or 15 on there.
Yeah, the vehicles, I don't even know how much those would even like, because like I said, we don't see any of them. But very interesting. Like it's a very, I thought this was kind of a Japan toy line when I first had kind of started looking at it. I was like, oh, it's just one of those small ones that they did weird stuff with.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And then to find out, it's
this
multi-toy.
It's not from Japan, and it doesn't have a cartoon, and it doesn't have a comic book. It doesn't have, and they didn't advertise it or anything either on TV. There was nothing like that. So
it did come out in the best year ever. So, I mean,
yeah,
I think they were okay with that. And definitely would look good. These guys would look good on a shelf with a bunch of other stuff mixed in, There's not a lot to them, but why not?
It's definitely something to look for, like if we go out or like I do, I go out antique shops and stuff like that, or at toy shows or stuff like that, just trying to see if you can find one. Cause like I said, it's one I didn't even know it existed. So it's just pretty cool little line. And it's pretty easy if you can find them to put them all together. Cause there's only 6 of them.
There's only 6. Yeah.
So
there's not a lot. They're not coming out with any more. So.
I did see on the advertising for, or in their catalog, multi toys toy catalog, they had they had the vehicles there, and they had 2 figures with them that didn't match any of these 6 figures, but I think it's just like a prototype thing to put in with the vehicles, but it wasn't. I didn't see any of those at all mentioned or they looked like 2 of the other figures, but they were different colors. So
with that, since this is a new toy line that we brought in, how much history did you find for the toy line?
Or for the company?
For the toy company.
I didn't see anything, John. I think you had more history than I found out, but
I sat here and dug through multiple things. So
a couple other lines from Multi Toys Corporation. They had Blue Thunder licensing, so they had a helicopter, and then they had a remote control helicopter for Blue Thunder. They had Dragon Riders of the Styx, like I said earlier. They had Menudo dolls from the little singing group Menudo. They had a Miss Universe doll. They had a blonde and a brunette. They both kind of looked like Barbie doll knockoffs. Is kind of what it looked like. They had Wizard of Oz dolls.
Yeah, that was right around the 50th anniversary for Wizard of Oz too.
Yeah. They had Tom and Jerry figures, and they had a line called Stinkies, which the tagline for that was characters that smell like their names. So,
gosh,
I didn't catch what they smell like, but yeah,
one of them was called Fishman.
Okay,
and
yeah.
When you like if you hold it, it doesn't really smell, but when you squeeze it, it lets out the smell. And they said it smelled like dead fish. I guess his name was Dead Fish or something like that.
Yeah,
but they had. I read a couple of them, and they're not what you want to smell. So.
No, they're Stinkies. That's what I guess that's it. So, another line they had the WWF squirt heads, which were water squirters. They're just a head mold sculpt of your favorite wrestler. And you fill it with water and you just squeeze it and it shoots water out of their mouth. And then Andrew, you may like this one. There was one called Nightmare Warriors.
Oh, nice.
Which were Masters of the Universe styled looking ones, and they were all black except they had skeleton bones on the black figure, and they were all after future or past what do you call them? people from the past. Like there was,
Our
mine-
ancestors.
yeah, I gotta hold on, I gotta find that. But
Yeah.
there was a pirate, there was a cowboy, there was they had 6 or 7 different figures.
I'm gonna look those up.
Yeah,
Oh,
look
those are
them
cool
up.
looking.
Yeah, you got a picture of it you can share?
Yeah.
Had, a line that was called the Weenies. And
Yeah,
it
then
was-
they did they brought back the weenies. Yeah,
This guy.
yeah, that's them.
Yeah. So this is one of them. This is pretty cool. Definitely would fit very well with the Motu stuff, like as like henchmen.
Yeah,
For Skeletor and stuff. So obviously, look at this price. This guy's trying to go for $150. Woo! A little too rich for my blood for one little toy. All right. Well, let's go ahead and I think we need to rank these. The question is not where are you ranking them, but does this go above or below RoboForce? I believe that's the question. Yes. Do you guys agree with that?
yeah, I think so.
I mean, this is definitely hitting at the bottom. Very cool line. Just we don't remember. We don't know these guys. We don't know these. Interesting. I like them. So, Michael, where do you rank these guys?
I'm gonna
Above
put
or below?
them. I have to put them probably below RoboForce.
Oh gosh, John.
I don't know. Like didn't know much about RoboForce. I don't know about these, but I think these have more appeal than RoboForce, so I'm gonna put them above.
Above, and I agree with John. I think these have a little more appeal than the stupid RoboForce things, and I'm putting them above. So therefore, I do have to say I was looking at the rankings this past week, and hold on, I'm going to take another glance at this because I want to make sure that I'm still right. So right now there are 2 toy lines that match up: our WWF Superstars, which is at 12 for all of us, and RoboForce, which is at whatever bottom. For all 3 of us, and no longer the case because RoboForce is going to be bumped down. Oh no, it's not going to be bumped down. It's going to be bumped up for Michael. So it's not going to match. Sorry, too bad. So sad. RoboForce, you suck. They should do better. I don't know. Something needed to. RoboForce needs to do better. All right, so there's our toy rankings. There's our toy talk for this week. This is going to be a short episode. I'm fine with that. Interesting enough. I did find enough to have 2 rounds of toy truths. So we need to get our private chat up and get this going so we can do our toy truths here. I'm going to add this to the stream. So both of you ready for this? Because this is going to be
Sure.
Yeah,
quick. This should be good. All right. So, this is episode 27, Bugmen of Insecta, round 1. Statement 1: 6 figures and 2 vehicles were released in a total for the Bugmen line. Statement 2: the Bugmen's weapons came packaged in 3 different color variations: red, green, or black. And statement number 3: the Bugmen figures were constructed just like G.I. Joe figures with rubber bands to help keep their arms more flexible. Michael.
3 is false.
3 is false. It's something we actually didn't bring up. I didn't bring it up because I knew it was in this, and I didn't want to give you the answer right away. But yeah, so they are solid figures. There's no rubber band to keep them together. So
no.
All right, John.
My keyboard, I hit the deal and it wouldn't go. Click on it.
I mean, you only have one chance here.
Right.
To tie it, to keep it tied. And Michael's up 3-1. So good luck. Round 2, statement 1. The Grass Skull Sled was a retooled version of the Skull Sled from Dragon Riders of the Styx toy line. Wow, that's a lot. 2, a limited edition Grassa was released in 1985 with the yellow and green colors swapped for the figure. And 3, the Bugmen of Insecta figures are 4 inches in height, and each figure was packaged with a specific insect companion. John?
2.
2 is Wrong. That is correct. You are right. That is false.
Sorry,
And
though, I didn't get a chance to even look again.
so that's going to keep you guys tied, or for this game. I was trying to throw something out there that we obviously knew was false because there's no limited edition anything going on in 1985. I don't think so.
No, that was it.
Especially with this toy line, there's nothing going on here.
That's why I ranked it below RoboForce, because it was at least RoboForce had
A cartoon.
It had a cartoon. Well, cartoon was awful.
But you
But
just
they had
couldn't even remember the name.
a second series. They had a second series that was planned. Well, Bugmen didn't. I mean, it was just this. That was it.
Well, I mean, I didn't know anything about RoboForce, so I
knew about RoboForce. So yeah,
you knew
this
about
one was a little bit
RoboForce.
more appealing to
this
me.
one I had no idea what it was.
Yeah, I had no idea about RoboForce. I didn't know anything about this thing, but RoboForce, they sucked. Like I can't get away from that. So this is a small toy line. Very interesting. What you pointing at something like?
No, go back to your Nightmare Warriors. I got their names. You got Captain.
I closed it.
Oh, Captain Kidd, who's like a pirate. You got Geronimo, which is an Indian. Major Bones, who is like a World War I or World War II figure. Pancho Villa, which is a Mexico guy. Sir Lancelot from the medieval ages, and Spartacus from Greece. So that's your Nightmare Warriors.
We're gonna have to talk about those. We got to make sure that's added to our list. I wrote it down.
Okay.
So maybe what we need to do going forward, before we wrap this one completely up, we got to look at these and maybe look at all the toy lines we have in our list. If they're small ones like this, we maybe just combine those all into one episode. That's like a megasode.
Megasode
Of like 3 or 4 toy lines all put together to kind of talk about those. So,
okay,
yeah, maybe just a thought.
We could have done the whole toy company.
Yeah,
we could have. So, all right. Well, real quick, I do want to, because I think we're just about done here with this one. I do want to throw out a couple little things. We have a couple pretty big toy lines coming up in the next couple weeks. I'm on the fence here. Do we want to say who it is? Do you want to say what they are?
Say which ones are coming up, just not saying which episode it's going to be.
All right. So coming up in the next few weeks, we've got My Little Pony is coming up. Cabbage Patch Kids or dolls, whatever they are. We also have our first run at the G.I. Joe line. This will be the 12-inch line that we're talking about. So we've got those big episodes coming up. So it's kind of fitting that we're trying to move in some of these obscure lines that I want to say that nobody's heard of these guys.
Yeah.
And if you're listening to this and you have heard of them, tweet at us. I'll send you some stickers.
If nobody's heard from them, why are they selling for so much on eBay?
I'm talking about people who listen to us.
Oh yeah, probably.
Like some people. The people who have heard about these are doing their own podcast where they're talking about them.
Right.
So, all right. If you tweet at me and tell me you've heard of these, I don't care if you prove it or not. I'll send you some stickers. I got stickers to send to people. So, all right. With that, John, give us. Oh, look, John's got stickers. I know it's only been like 5 minutes ago since you did it, but where can people find us?
All right. So you can email us at toyrewindpodcast@gmail.com. Hopefully we gave you enough to get a bingo on our podcast bingo. Podcastbingo.com/toyrewind. Check us out on YouTube, Facebook, twitch.tv/toyrewind-pod, Instagram and Twitter @toyrewindpod, and then of course check our website out, toyrewindpodcast.com.
By the way, speaking of the bingo, I have 2 new cards that I'm going to add. One of them being, Michael, let's start with you. and which is kind of a freebie. And then one that will very rarely happen, but it'll be good. John outstudies Michael. I'm going to add those. Or maybe not outstudies, but like John has more info than Michael.
Yeah,
maybe something like that. So I'll have to work on that one to make it there. So
I can give you the address for Multi-Toy Corporation too. You know, I got the address.
Gosh.
The company at the time.
Gosh. All right, hold on, real quick. If you enjoyed this, be sure to go check out our other sister podcasts, friendly podcast. I don't know, whatever you want to call them. Out of the Nerds Unite Network, Geek Together, the Average Nerd Podcast, the Four Dorksmen, Three Beers and a Mic, STS Guys, Nerdy Curious, Nerd Portraits, Movie Retakes, Totally Rad Movie Podcast, which we heard is coming back at some point. Secondary Heroes, and then obviously go watch Sully over on Twitch at twitch.tv/CS Sully. Lots of fun. They've been doing a lot of Fall Guys lately, so some fun stuff. Anything you guys want to add? Did I miss anybody?
No.
All there.
Everybody.
All there.
So.
All there. Check out our bingo card. Follow our website. John doing it through all this. I'm trying to make sure there's nothing we missed.
No.
All right. Well then, I guess I feel like there was something that was missed. I don't know. All right. On behalf
of this one,
what? There
wasn't a lot on this one.
Yeah. So on behalf of the brothers here at the Toy Rewind podcast, play on.
You've been listening to the Toy Rewind podcast. Follow and join in the conversations at toyrewindpodcast.com.